Yes, yes, yeah. Okay, perfect. All right, so let me go through just quickly. I'll go through the action plan worksheet and just share the thought process behind it, and then I'll put you in groups. So here's the action plan worksheet, and this is designed for one particular goal so that you can really drill down all the different pieces of it. So, for example, your SMART goal, which we know is specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. It's got a time date attached to it. You would write your goal down here. So let's say your goal for the upcoming year is to earn $150,000 gross revenue or more by December 31st. This question here, it would be really beneficial if you all have a goal to go through what this is. So the criteria of success is I will know I achieved this goal when. And what this question does is actually triggers your mind to specificity and creates a future vision pacing of that completion. So for example, if it was I earned 150,000 in gross revenue, I know I will know I've achieved this goal when I open up my QuickBooks account and I run my profit and loss for the year, and it shows me I had 150,000 in gross revenue. Like I can visualize myself sitting at my computer pulling the report. So what is that criteria of success? Perhaps if it's about a book that you've written, you know, you'll get the bestseller status, or maybe you're going to be working on a weight loss goal or a certain number of clients or reaching 1 million people, whatever that goal is. How will you know when you've actually achieved it? If it's X number of speaking engagements, it's that you've got pictures of yourself in 20 different stages that you've spoken on. And you have a collage set up with, you know, or you look on your phone at a photo album. You get what I'm saying? Any questions on that part? All right, good. And then this next section is to set for yourself some goal levels. So in this instance, the target would be 150,000 gross revenue. And the minimum, what I'd still feel happy accomplishing is 110, let's say. My stretch might be 175. The reason we work with, and this has proven very successful for our clients, the reason we give you this range is that old phrase, you know, shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. Success breeds success. So we don't want to say because you know, if your goal is 150 and you got 149, you're not successful. Yes, you're still successful. So having those minimum and stretch ranges allows you to celebrate all along the way. Once you have the annual goal, then you want to break it down by quarter and then by month. So one of the things about this, and I'm going to use a monetary goal for this one. So let's say your monetary goal is 150,000. Well, if you were to do 150 to get to the quarterly, 150,000 divided by 150,000 divided by 4, that would put you at 37.5 per quarter. But if you've only brought in 10,000 in the last quarter, to expect the big jump to 37.5 is not realistic. So you're going to want to stack it a little bit higher towards the end, or maybe in the second and third quarter, you're going to have 50,000 in each one of those, knowing that you're going to use the first quarter to build momentum. And then in the fourth quarter, you're going to taper off because you know you're going on vacation. Or you know that whatever that is. It's the way you have success with this is with a little bit extra thinking. And then once you have the quarterly goal, you'll divide by 3. And I'm giving you this, obviously not expecting you to be able to get through all of it today, but this plan, this action plan has proven so effective. And as a matter of fact, Lisa's daughter, Jackie, I love what she said at Level Up when she said, the question we asked was, what advice would you give yourself a year ago knowing what you know now? Do you remember what Jackie said? Yep. So go ahead, Lisa.
She said the advice she would have given herself is don't put your business plan down.
Yeah, it's a living, breathing
It's a
document.
living,
Things are
breathing
going to
document.
change. Yeah, new opportunities are going to come in. So that's what I wanted to really do for all of you is set you up for success with this. So that's what, this first page is all about is really chunking down those numbers. On the second
Can
page,
can I can I say something about that real
sure.
quick? I was there and I heard her say that, and I heard, I guess, Nancy, you responded. This is my new folder. I love to work in these kind of spiral binders, and it says Business Plan 2020. I've never done this before. So because your daughter spoke, please tell her, and y'all, and you followed up, Nancy, this is going to be with me all year.
Yeah,
I'll
beautiful.
tell her. I'll tell her.
I love it. Let me tell you, one of the things I love about having this is there are some mornings I wake up a little confused, like, what should I focus on today? There's so many things going on. For those moments, pull it out. What did you write down that you said you were going to do? It brings you right back and gets you right back on track. It's really powerful. And I guess, Lisa, you can see how I've kind of modified this from what we had earlier to just always taking it to that next level wherever we can. So today, if you can work on maybe at least knowing what your goal is what I would suggest you focus on during your session. What is your goal that you want to achieve? And then what's that criteria of success? If you can focus on those two things, I think it'll be powerful. And then it'll require some more thought and planning to get to these other numbers as you break them down. The second place you'll want to put some focus on, whether you do this today or another day, is the emotional part related to your goals. Because when you fuel your goal and your inspired actions by knowing the emotional and intangible factors related to achieving your goal, it brings about greater success. So give yourself some time as you're doing goal setting to answer these questions. Why do you want this goal? What are the specific outcomes? You'll be able to buy a new car, pay off your house, have X amount of money put away for retirement, whatever that is. And then list the benefits of attaining that goal. I will feel secure. I'll sleep better at night. It'll make me so happy knowing I contributed $10,000 to my grandson's college fund. What's the big benefits? You have something really big planned, once this goal is achieved. And then also, what's the pain of it? And I shared this at Level Up too. The truth of the matter is we are all fairly successful. We do okay in our lives. So we really need to push ourselves. But how's it going to feel if you don't? What is the consequence of not achieving the goal? We want to get real. We're about be real, get real, achieve real results. And these are the kinds of questions that we must ask ourselves to get there. And then what other side benefits? What else will this goal help me achieve? Are there any obstacles or challenges may I encounter? What are some ways to get past those challenges? And these are great things. So we're doing for all of our Illumination clients, we do Momentum Mondays. And on December 23rd, we're going to drill down into all of these. That's why I want you guys to work on them in advance as much as possible. Because if you came up with challenges but not ways to get past them, that's what coaching and mentoring is all about, to guide us through all of those. And then who do I need to be? How will you or your business need to be different? A worthwhile goal often requires us to look at or to do things differently. So if you want to have 20 speaking engagements in 2020, but you really are scared every time you think about going on a stage, or you don't want to make calls, or maybe you're not feeling good about your body and that's why you're not getting on stage, maybe it's time to get a stylist or go to the gym. Who do we need to be to step into that higher version of ourselves? That's what these questions are really driven to. Or maybe if you have people on your team, in order to achieve this goal, I need to add somebody to my team to handle my email responses so that I can be out there speaking. What needs to change in order for you to grow and for the business to grow to the next level? And then the last one is, what resources do you already have? And all of you, I encourage you to tap into the resources that are here in this community. If you need some help with the website, if you need somebody to help making phone calls, if you need somebody to walk your dog, do your laundry, clean your house, we've got everything in this community, right? So, if you've got those mental blocks going on and there's some past trauma that you don't want to get on a stage, call Nikki Larson and work through that stuff. If you don't know how to manifest clients or you're telling yourself a story, call Catherine Yarborough. Let's use each other in this. If you're wanting to get into corporate environments and you're not sure how to do that or what the benefit factor or who you need to be as a leader, reach out to Anne. That's why we want to really use the resources in this network. So the other pages in here is I gave you one sheet for each quarter. So on page 1, after you've written down what the quarterly goal is and each month, you'll take those numbers and put them back down on this detailed sheet for January, February. What's the goal in the quarter and for each month? And now you create your action plan. What are we going to do? So this is the entire year of 2020 built out for you so that you can plug these items in. If you've got a big event scheduled, if you know when you're speaking, like plug in the dates that things are happening that you'll want to address first and foremost, and then work around them. So for example, with Women's Prosperity Network, we know that we open coaching for, one of our revenue streams is through coaching for illumination. And we open that once a quarter so that we can onboard people. So I'll have various action items around the beginning of the end of the quarter, the last quarter, beginning of the first one to open that up. So I'm going to host an event. If I have speaker training and Trisha's Next Level training is happening. If I'm going to speak at somebody else's event. If you have a new online course that you're doing, you want to pick a date for that. And then back end, what's the marketing you're going to do from there? All right. So I filled you up with a lot of instruction. And I'm excited to see you all really using this as a guideline for creating an amazing 2020.